Pumpkin spice and everything nice. Well, at least for those of us who actually like pumpkin pie spice. But even if you don't, you can create a pumpkin spice version using ingredients that you do like. You only need cinnamon, assuming you like cinnamon, and at least one of the other ingredients in the recipe. Today I'm showing you my preferred version, but I provide suggestions in the link in the description below for variations based on what you want to eat. Unlike the name suggests, there is no pumpkin in pumpkin pie spice. It's called pumpkin pie spice because it contains typical spices used in making pumpkin pie. The most basic pumpkin pie spice is just cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg. That's it. With that, let's check out my pumpkin pie spice blend. For the ingredients, you'll need all ground spices to include cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, allspice, cloves, and black pepper. In a small bowl, we're going to measure out and add 24 grams, which is 3 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. I'm using Ceylon cinnamon, which is the truest cinnamon form. 4 grams, which is 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. 4 grams, 2 teaspoons of ground nutmeg. A whole nutmeg is equal to 2 teaspoons of nutmeg. 2 grams, which is 1 teaspoon of ground allspice. 2 grams, which is 1 teaspoon of ground cloves, and half a gram, 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Then you can use a spoon like I'm using here, or you can use a whisk, and you just want to mix all the ingredients together, making sure to break up any masses of spice, like the ground ginger tends to gather up into a mass. You could also use a little sifter or strainer if you want to. Mix it well so that all the spices are blended. This recipe makes 1/4 cup, which is about 4 tablespoons. Okay, so that's pretty much it. You want to transfer your spices to a jar or container that you can seal tightly. You can either use a spoon or a funnel and just add notice how spice mix in, and notice how quickly it goes down into the spice jar. Okay, and ditto the spices. And then you just seal up your jar. And if you use a spice jar, then you have holes in the lid to sprinkle out the amount that you want. And as you can see, this spice mix fills up a spice jar, so that's 1/4 cup. And now it's ready to be used. If you have and like cardamom, which is what I have right here, you can also add half a gram, which is 1/4 teaspoon, to the pumpkin spice mix. Some commercial brands of pumpkin spice contain cardamom, so it's totally appropriate. I like cardamom in mine, but I left it out for you today because it's not as common in United States pantries as other spices. You can store pumpkin pie spice blend in a sealed container for up to a year, or based on the shortest expiration date of the oldest individual spice that you added to your mix. Add this pumpkin spice as you would a commercial version in a 1-to-1 ratio in your favorite recipes that call for pumpkin pie spice. Sprinkle it over your breakfast oatmeal, toast, eggnog, coffee, apple cider, mulled wine, or hot chocolate. So many things you can use pumpkin spice. Add it to spiced nuts or pumpkin seeds, and why not add it to squash soups or roasted fall squash like acorn, pumpkin, or delicata. Add a little pumpkin spice to pancakes, waffles, or muffins. Your options are almost endless. If you have kids with sensitive taste buds, you may only want to include cinnamon, ginger, and/or nutmeg. Really, you only need 2 to 3 ingredients to have a pumpkin pie spice. As long as you have cinnamon, you can add or subtract any of the other spices. Enjoy playing around to find the exact recipe that fits your needs and your preferred tastes. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. Until next time, spice up your life and go bake the world.